Hi, guys. Welcome to another exciting episode on the Unpacked Podcast. My name is Lexi and Marnie. And of course, as usual, I have in the studio my host.
Like your money. All right, guys, I'm Mr. Peak and I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, as you can see, we are super excited because the guest we have in the studio is somebody that has a very strong personality. She is very, very raw and undiluted, and that's why I'm excited for my guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about no other person than the storyteller herself, her on TikTok, on Instagram, Lady K. See that intro I gave you.
The intro
It was
is
so
bad.
good. Thank you so much.
How you
Thank
feeling?
you. I feel great. I'm very happy to be here.
You sure?
Yes, I am.
All right, so guys, we're going to be talking about religion versus spirituality. We're also going to be talking about church hurt. And we're also going to try and talk about this deconstructing of Christianity, right? Because you've had a journey, right? It's been a roller coaster of things.
Oh, man.
Right? So, well, first off, let me know why did you decide or what happened to your faith? Let's start from there. Like, what happened to your faith and why did you lose faith at some point?
Yeah, I experienced something very traumatic in 2023, and it affected every area of my life. Friendships, personal friendships, work relationships, everything. And it also affected my faith, which up until the point that the event happened was very, very, very strong. In fact, many things have happened to me in this life, and my faith has never been shaken. If anything, it's kind of encouraged me to even get closer to God. So I'm talking about my faith in God, like personal relationship. I'm not talking about church or anything like that. I'm saying that my one-on-one, it was very deep. And this event, sometimes you don't even know what trauma would do to you. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. This event, I don't think I didn't see the loss coming. I didn't see the crisis coming. So I think that made it 10 times worse, or it made it feel 10 times worse. And over I would say a period of maybe 8 weeks, I just felt the fire just burning out slowly until it was just gone.
Do you want to tell us what this event was?
Because I'd like to know, because from what she said her faith was actually very strong. Before that 2023.
Oh my goodness.
That event happened. So I would definitely like to know about.
So let's know what the event was and how you transitioned to where you are now. Maybe did you speak to somebody or
Okay, so the event involved a family member that, I no longer speak to this family member. I've spoken very honestly about what happened on my YouTube. There's a 4-part series on my YouTube where I go into details of the timeline of everything. But this family member got into a mess in Lagos. This family member does not live in Lagos, but come to Lagos in June of 2023 and ended up just causing wahala. Let me just put it that way, for lack of a better word. And it took about, how the internet is, especially Twitter. It took maybe about 24 hours for people to realize that me and this individual were related. And then I got dragged into it. I literally was, when people say I was on my own, I'm not exaggerating. I wasn't even at the place where the altercation happened. I wasn't even there. I was literally in bed while it was happening. So by the time I got wind of what happened and I was trying to do damage control behind the scenes, the Twitter journalists and sleuths came, with this information like, it was so, like, oh my God, look at this juicy detail. Lady K is related to this guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 33. This person has been in my life for a very long time. Like, it's not news. People went to school with us. People know. But I think because of just how, I guess, titillating this whole event was, it was just exciting that, Lady K is related to someone who is this like aggressive and violent. She claims to be a feminist and all of that. And I got dragged into it.
He was hitting you?
Yeah, that happened, but what happened in 2023 had nothing to do with me. He was acting aggressively towards another woman and he got caught on camera. And he got into a physical fight with 2 guys who were trying to essentially separate or get him off her. And that's what ended up leaking on. Well, not leaking, it was posted with intention to cause a lot of damage, right? It was a mess. It was a mess because people started this narrative about me enabling the behavior, which was really upsetting because I was like, no, you guys didn't grow up with me. let's not, But then, once a rumor starts on the internet, it's hard to tame it because it just spreads like wildfire.
Yeah.
And it didn't just stay online. It actually went offline as well. So I had friends call me to say, like, what's going on? I was at this party and they started talking about you and this family member. And I'm like, as much as you guys are finding these things out, I am finding it out. But of course, when somebody goes online to say, oh, Kay enabled this person, nobody stops to say, oh, guys, we don't really know. It was like, yeah, let's run with this narrative. And there was nothing I could do to contain it. I put I guess a statement, but it wasn't really a statement. It was a true, like, guys, this is honest truth. I grew up with this person. I experienced the violence. I've never enabled this behavior. If anything, I've been on the receiving end. Okay. The backlash.
It's crazy, right?
That's when I knew that people don't like when people share their DV story. DV meaning domestic violence. They don't like that. Oh. They want you to shut up about it. Don't tell us that. We don't know you as that. At that time, I was a very public figure in tech. So it was like, no. You are a journalist. We know you for this. We know you for that. What do you mean you grew up in an abusive home? We don't want to hear that. You're lying. We like this narrative that you enabled this boy. Okay. And mind you, this boy is older than me. So I'm like, the math is not mathing, guys. If I was older than him, fine, you could say that, all right, maybe. But I'm younger than him. I'm a woman. And I've come forward to say I experienced XYZ. Yeah. And everybody was like, no. So I was called a liar. Whew. Listen, I don't know how to explain it, but this is something that victims and survivors have had to deal with. Like, you come forward with your story and you're called a liar. It makes you feel crazy. It makes you question, like, did these things actually happen to me? No, but they happened to me, right? Called me a liar, an enabler. The story just went out viral. Of control.
So I get the part where you were called a liar and everything. So how did that make you lose faith?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's like... How did it happen then? You're like, okay, God, because of this happened, I'm losing.
Because I was something, this awful thing happened to you, and after years of kind of keeping quiet, covering the family shame, you come forward, you take that bold step and say, okay, guys, let me tell you a little bit about the side of me that I've not shared. Yeah. And you're hit with that. And in that time that the videos and everything was coming out about him, I was praying behind the scenes. Like I said, there was a lot happening behind the scenes. I was praying and I was fasting. I'm a small woman. I know how much weight I lost in 5 days just because I was going to God like, hey man, what's going on?
Help me.
Come on, you've seen the whole journey till this point. You know my hand is not in this. And I was met with silence. And that silence messed me up because of how bad what he did was, my friends were not picking up my calls. My fellowship community when I say ghosted, I'm not joking.
Your fellowship at that time?
At the time, yes. And
fellowship or church?
No, it was a fellowship. They didn't call themselves a church. It was mostly like, it started off virtual in 2020, and then we would have these like in-person meetings from time to time. So I was actually a shared resource. So I belonged to a fellowship, but I was also supporting another ministry.
Oh, okay. So
called Rig Lagos. I was supporting that. I helped Tommy Arami plant Rig Lagos.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's evidence. I have the receipts. Okay, so I was a shared resource between Rig Lagos, and the fellowship was called Kingdom Community. Oh, okay. So when I say shared resource, I was part of the prophetic team. I trained prophets within the community.
Really?
Yeah. You trained prophets?
Yeah. No, it was deep. I was ordained. I was ordained in 2021. Tomi Arami ordained me.
As a pastor or
as
prophet?
A prophet.
Prophetess.
Yes.
You see things.
Yes.
You see things.
I was calling things. No, it was real.
Okay.
And then, you serve people. And I didn't serve from a place of, I'm serving you, so you must serve me, because I understood what ministry was about. Oh, yeah. You hear it a lot. In training, they tell you, don't expect anything from anyone.
Between you and God.
It's between you and I was, okay, but I was like, wait, guys, something bad is happening to me. I need support. Even before anything came out, I already sent a message like, something is about to come out.
Yeah.
And I just need to be covered. I'm not saying you guys should go online. I'm just like, can you guys, the way I've protected, the ways I have ministered, that's all I needed.
They didn't.
It was like a movie. The way people were just slowly.
Did it? So I know a church where when something like this happens, they bring the member like in front of the church and they talk about it and embarrass the member.
Yeah.
Was that the...
I wish they actually
brought you out.
I wish they were like, guys, let's put the spotlight on Kay. And, this was going on. No.
And they didn't have like a private meeting to call you and ask you, like, we've been seeing this narrative online.
I wish that
what is your side
that was
of the story?
my expectation. And I don't think that that's a high expectation to have of people that you've been fellowshipping with for.
And investing in.
Time.
Of course.
No, I would wake up to messages.
Yeah.
I had this dream. The Lord, can you minister to me? I would minister to people at midnight, 3 a.m., 6 a.m., I've led prayer. Like, no, this was a real thing that I was doing. In addition to my job, by the way, and my life. So that respect, I'm not sure what, again, I think when people saw my family member, they saw me. So I don't know if it was a case of there's no way she didn't know about his behaviors. Like, but the thing is that this particular fellowship knew my family history because I'm very honest about that. When people ask me those questions, I was, at that time I had not gone no contact with the family members that were involved in this thing. So people would ask me and I'll be honest, like, this is what it is with my family. But, I'm still in their lives. I still talk to them. So they knew about the abuse. They knew my history. So I was like, what's actually going on? I know what he did was bad, but why are you guys I felt like I was being punished for his actions, which was something that had happened in my life a lot growing up. Like, whenever he would do something, I would get punished for it. So I was seeing it happening in adulthood, and I was like, something about this feels backwards and upside down. So that was messing with my head. Friends were not... if I forget the church people, my former friends, because of course I had to...
Move on.
You have to now.
Yeah, I get you.
It was a case of like my brand,
Yeah.
your brand.
I don't know. People don't know what friendship is all about, man.
My
Friendship
followers.
Friendship is even tested when there is down moment.
Yes, and it's public.
Yes. And your friends still stand for you. Friendship is responsibility. I always tell people that. But so that's I can see where you're coming from now because you were ordained.
Yes.
I didn't even know you were a prophetess.
I was shocked to hear that.
So I want to know, are people leaving Christianity now because they got tired of the rules, or because of church hurt, or because they know something else?
I think it's sometimes a combination of all three.
Okay.
It depends on who you speak to. When I started deconstructing, a lot of the people that were gravitating towards my videos were hurt by church. A lot of them had left church because something had happened and they felt abandoned, they felt misunderstood, they felt judged, and they were like, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore. A lot of them were in ministry as well, and they were burned out and they were not getting the support that they needed. Maybe some of them had gone through personal trials and they had reached out for support and they got aired. It's not like they went to the main pastor, as in they were reaching out to their community and they got aired, like nobody picking up their calls and things like that, or being told it's only God that can help you. I heard that a lot, like this is between you and God. There was like an empathy gap, right? So a lot of people have experienced that. I think a lot of people too, they started to ask questions about what they believed in, and when they would bring those questions forward in church, they would get shut down or judged.
Yeah.
So we're in an age now where people are realizing that, okay, I have free will and I'm responsible for myself. If I'm not going to get answers here, let me step away and deal with those questions myself. And then, okay, now I'm on TikTok and Instagram, I'm finding people like me who were very deep in it, and now they're asking questions. So I feel less alone within this deconstruction community. We know ourselves, we're hearing ourselves, we understand each other, right? And then there's the religion of it all.
Yeah.
There are the rituals, the rules, and everybody does different things according to their church's doctrine. So when you now think about all these things, for a lot of people, it's like, okay, let's step back. There's anger, there's pain. All of these things, I believe, are valid. I believe that church hurt, I told you, church hurt is a valid reason to leave the church. I would argue that all the time.
I want to ask something. From the story you narrated, it was more or less like when the trouble was happening, you felt alone because people that you call family, you couldn't see them as a safe haven anymore, and even your friends and all. Now, for you, when that happened, did you leave the church or you left God?
That's a good
question.
question.
Because I was about to ask, because I wanted to add to that. Right? Yeah. Do you think people project their insecurity on people that failed
people?
Yes, or on God?
Yeah, I definitely. I feel like at that time I couldn't separate God from the people
of God.
Of God, yes, because there was a lot of pain and stuff happening. Like I was getting humiliated. Like I don't know, try to just imagine being cyberbullied. Everything is happening all at once.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of hard to
a lot of information to process.
Too much. Like imagine your friends texting you, they're dragging your Twitter. Oh, this is what my former friends were doing. So I'm like I'm actually bleeding out on the floor. No, I was bleeding out on the floor metaphorically, and people were sending me the bad news like it was fun for them. So the line was so thin until it disappeared. I couldn't separate. Like now I know that, yes, I was projecting that anger onto God because I felt you abandoned me. But in reality, it wasn't actually God. He had nothing to do with it. I just felt alone because there was silence across the board. All the relationships went quiet.
Because the true definition of family is even if you are wrong, family should be a safe haven. Just like imagine, okay, maybe you're at home now and your maybe younger brother or younger sister just rushed in and like, oh, maybe people are chasing me because I did it. Even if you find out that whatever he or she did was wrong, you still have to first protect against the external forces. Then you can now know how to. So the way churches or people treat things these days is once there's a fallout, they want to treat you as a cancer, as a part of the body that that is not functioning any longer. Let us cut it away.
Exactly.
Whereas they are meant to isolate you within the system, try to treat you and make you feel safe, before they can now come out and do damage control.
Exactly.
But that is not the case these days, which is actually something that is very bad. And I feel sorry for whatever happened to you. But are you still with God? Let me put it that way, because
just throw me right into the
yes, I asked that question. So you said you projected everything that happened on God.
Yes.
Because your people left me, that means you left me. What was your standing now, if I may ask? I don't know if I went too far with that question.
No, you didn't. You didn't, because it connects to what I said at Logic 2 Wednesdays ago, which was my unbelief. At the time when I said it, my unbelief was very deep. Now, since that Wednesday and this past weekend, a lot of things have happened. And I would say that the unbelief is there, but it's not pervasive. It's not consuming me anymore. It's kind of like breaking apart in a way that is challenging me. I don't like it. It's very uncomfortable, but it's breaking apart, and there's hope, which is a good thing, because before there was not. I was like, you can't catch me engaging with the church, praying, all of it. I would never. I was like, I would never.
So you stop prophesying.
Everything done. Everything was done. I gave away my Bibles, gave away my church. Everything was done. All my journal, everything, deleted.
Wow. Just because you thought God wasn't there at that point.
I was like, you left me. You knew everything. You say you're all seeing. You saw everything happen, how I had to grow up in this environment, what I survived. And the same people that did the damage when I was growing up have done something. I wasn't even in the wrong. I can even understand if I was in the wrong. Then I can say, okay, maybe nobody was obligated. But I was like, objectively, I didn't do anything wrong. This was somebody else's issue that God brought to my table. And the people who knew what I had gone through and survived failed me. And I saw that as God also failing you. Yeah.
So are you with God? You still...
Isn't it enough that there's hope? Isn't it enough that I'm attending church services?
Okay. Well, it's enough for now.
For
at least
now.
It's a process.
Wow, it's a process. But yeah. What I will say, I was counting it before, when I was thinking about this conversation today. I was like, how many services have you done now since? The first service was January 25th. And I was like, how many? I think it's been maybe like 14 now, including Wednesdays combined, right? Yeah. Come on, that's not even...
Yeah.
Listen, you would never catch
you, right?
me.
What even happened that, made you...
Attend the first service at Logic. Yeah. So since full disclosure, I actually knew about Logic since 2021. The fellowship I was a part of, 2 of the members attended Logic. Right, because again, it wasn't a physical church.
Sure, okay.
People still needed that conventional church setting, and everybody who went to Logic from that fellowship had the same thing to say. Dr. Flourish was an amazing preacher, and there was a level of intellectualism that he brought to the word. So I didn't actually have any negative thoughts or review about Logic. I just, at the time, was just happy that my friends were attending, but I didn't feel compelled to check anything out. So I'd never interacted with Logic or any of Dr. Flourish's sermons until that day that I walked in. But in 2023, one of my friends, Nkechi Alade, she started to invite me. She was like, just come to Logic. I promise you will like it. Just come and listen. That's all she would say. I'm like, no.
Thank you.
No thanks. She knew me. You know me, I'm like, girl, you know I don't do this church thing. Don't tell me. She's like, no, just come and sit down. I don't know. And then I'll never forget, the night before, I texted her. I was like, you know what, Nkechi, I will go tomorrow. No problem. I'll go. I'll honor this invitation you've been giving me. And she's like, okay, great. That was it. She had never put any pressure on me. Please, this is 2023. We're not in 2026.
Yeah.
I didn't interact. I didn't go online. I didn't watch anything. I said, I want to go into the service as hard-hearted as possible. In fact, I was going in with so much skepticism. I was like, who is this doc? Who are you?
How did your heart down?
Who are down?
I went out the night before. I was like, no, who do you think you are? In fact, I told another of my friends, I was like, I'm going to Logic tomorrow. And she was so excited. She sent me a Dunsin' or Income video. She was like, listen to this. I was like, girl, you're trying to prep me. No. I want my heart to be
prepped.
You will not prep me. You will not soften my heart.
So you went for a party?
Yeah, I did. I went out. I told her, I was like, girl, because of this video you sent me, because I played the first few minutes. I was like, what? No, exit. I was like, nah, my spirits are closed. My channels are closed, okay? Yeah. So I remember I came late too. I was like, no, why would I be there early in the morning? 11:30, I'll never forget. I walked in. Obviously, it was full now. I remember when I walked in, my first thought was, whoa, this is a lot of people. I was like, whoa, the church is packed out. Already, somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is a bad idea. Because the church is packed out. Okay. So I go upstairs. In the middle of Dr. Flourish's sermon, he's preaching, and I'm beginning to feel something. And I was like, hold on.
Even after I went for your party. You should have
seen me. I actually sat up. I was like, wait, who is this man? And I actually got up and I went to the railing and I was looking down. I was like, who is this? That was I was like, who is this guy? What is he doing? What am I experiencing? All of these things were going through my head. Yeah. And I mean, Dr. Flourish is not aware that I exist in this church. So he's just doing his thing. And I remember I was just listening. And I told myself, you're never coming back to this church again. I said, and I texted Nkechi.
Cannot change me.
That's what I said. I said, Nkechi, I'm not coming back. Your pastor is dangerous. Those are my exact words. I said, he's a dangerous man.
So it was a thing of you not wanting to change.
Yeah, I'm admitting.
Yeah, that was where her heart was before.
That was where it was.
It wasn't even the devil, it was her.
It was me.
So you were not even blaming the devil this time. Devil was
me. I said me. Okay. I'm going in with this attitude.
So I like the fact that you said you told your friend you were not going to attend again.
I said.
Well, I think I saw a place where you said you've attended different churches.
Through my Christian journey, yes, but not while I was... Between 2023 and when I went to Logic,
you didn't attend any,
not a single, nothing.
When you lost your faith, when?
Yeah, it was 2023. So the last fellowship or whatever I was part of was RIG and Kingdom Community. That was it. But prior to RIG and Kingdom Community, I was part of House of Freedom, the Waterbrook Church for a very long time. In fact, from when I was a teenager, I started with the underground and then sort of like grew with the church. That was like, I would say, my long term. And then COVID happened and then I found myself in KC and RIG, yes. Okay. But after that, did not engage. So Logic was my first.
So what belief did you have before of the church that you no longer have?
I used to think that church was, I believe this now, but initially I thought, okay, church is a place where I think you can come and be yourself and you can be transformed based on what it is that you're listening to. Then I realized that, okay, there's a lot of like imperfect people here. So I started to manage my expectations. And I'm like, okay, this is just a place where I can fellowship with other people, no problem. And then obviously, when you're in church, things happen, you experience things, and then you realize that, okay, what is this place actually? Why am I here? I don't need to be here. I don't need to be a part of church. And then, it's easier to be a part of a fellowship than to go into something more conventional. But then after I started attending Logic, with this kind of like new mindset of, okay, maybe it's okay to just be here and not have to perform or be a part of anything. Because when you get into ministry, it changes what church means to you. Then it's a place where you are serving the body of Christ. So that's a very different conversation from someone that's just sitting down in the congregation. So you are now in a leadership position. So things are a bit different. Church is no longer just church. You are now serving. You are working in the church. That's different. So now I'm just like, okay, this is just supposed to be a place that anyone should feel comfortable being inside. right? That's why even though I was fighting, I came back to logic because I felt I could be myself. I didn't feel judged once.
Now, I want to ask something. You said before 2023, you were very much into church.
Yeah.
You were a minister, a prophetess, And after the event happened 2023, from 2023 to 2026, you didn't attend church at all. During the period where you were yourself out of church and out of God, and was there any point in time you compared your life to when you were with God at that point? And did you feel you were missing out on anything? Or how were you living your life in those 3 years?
Yeah. You know what? I needed to recover from what happened to me. I was suicidal in November of 2023. When I survived the suicide attempt, my only focus was on getting back to a healthy mental state. So I was in intense therapy from 2023.
So sorry to cut you. So the dragging made you suicidal?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was that crazy.
It's a social media thing now.
It was online and it was, how do I say this? Because I had to read my journal entries in therapy because my therapist and I couldn't understand why my friends had changed. We knew the point where things changed. It was June because we read journal entries before June where I was like, I had lunch with this person. They said they loved me so much. And there was just an immediate switch after what happened when my family member went public. And I said, these are the same people. And my therapist was like, what's happening? I said, I don't know. So it wasn't just like what was happening online. People that would say hi to me, literally, it felt like night and day. Like 2 weeks ago, hi. 2 weeks later, I was like persona non grata. So I would go and say hi to people that I knew and they would look away. One time I stretched out my hand to shake someone, she looked at me like I was a piece of trash. I'm not joking. Them not even talk about professionally. Career that I built in tech, it was like hit. I lost clients. No, it was a slow decline. I didn't even know I was suicidal until the day I tried to take my life. So my therapist was like, there's different stages and you were slowly climbing up and you did not even know. Because I was still like, trying to understand. I was like, what's going on? So there was no time to even really focus on what was happening to me mentally. And then you're having church people tell me, God is dealing with you.
Oh, God is punishing you.
Yeah, they were like, oh no, this is a part of it. You're like the Joseph in your family. I was like, I'm bleeding out, guys. You guys are telling me no, this is not the time for analogies. There were counselors in the fellowship. None of them reached out. So I was in therapy for those. In fact, I took a break. I think my therapist told me I was okay. January 2025, he said, just live with everything, all the tools I've given you. Just take it easy. So in those 2 years, I was thinking about God. I was like, girl, you need to get yourself together. You need to get back. I couldn't stop. I couldn't not work. So I had to go back to like finding clients, dealing with people ignoring me because of something my family member did and because of what they read online. I was like, this is deep. So there was no time for that. I couldn't be hungry. I wasn't going to sell my body. So I had to be like, I need to work. So that's what I was doing. I was in therapy. That was expensive, by the way. I paid from nobody's. Sorry. Every time I think about it, I'm like, the only person that was there for me was my best friend. I had to go to London. We planned a trip a year before, 2023. So everything was booked. We couldn't go on that trip because I was on her living room floor crying every day in London for 3 weeks.
That's serious.
We did not know I was suicidal until November 18th, 2023. I can never forget. So there was no time to think about that. It was just get better. But it wasn't, honestly, I'm not going to lie, the first time my unbelief was challenged was that first service at Logic. That was when the idea of God started to come back. And even then I was like, I'm not interested. I said 2023 was too traumatizing. I'm not going through this again. It's okay. Great preacher, great church. Bumped into some of my friends. They were like, girl, we haven't seen you. I said, good. Let's keep it that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Did I feel, no, I didn't feel any emptiness because again, there was too much time being spent putting me back together. Making very hard decisions. Even the friends I had to let go of, it was not easy. But I had known too much, found out, but I was being discussed in their group chat. So you're talking about me, but you're not reaching out.
Those people are not friends.
But then
initially.
You've had them in your life for what, 10, 15, you've been part of their lives, their big moments. Imagine grappling with this while you're suicidal. It was too much. So no, I didn't feel empty. Was I hurt, angry? Yes, but there was no feeling of God is not in your life anymore. You're not serving God. Now I was like, no, I was already on the floor. So it doesn't matter whether God was in or out. Something bad happened to me that had already put me on the floor. It wasn't my loss of faith that led me there. It was the thing that happened that triggered all these events. Do you get my point? So I wasn't feeling that way at all. Even though people were telling me, oh, I'm sure your life will be bad. I'm like, oh, guys, you don't even want to know the house of horror that I grew up in. This is child's play compared to what I experienced growing up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But now, and this is where the challenge is. I'm like, do I want to go back into this again? Do I even have it in me to say I want to trust God again? Do I? I don't know.
So why do you think you cannot trust God again? Why do you think, since you know that it was the people and not God, so why do you think you cannot trust God again?
Because I don't know who to see him as. Am I seeing him as Father? Am I just seeing him as
Who were you
God?
seeing him as before
Father.
that event happened?
Father, 1000%. Abba, not even just Father, Abba, because Abba signifies closeness.
Yeah.
Abba is like, that is like a name of adoration.
Yeah.
Like this one is one, you're not just my father, like you are my daddy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So when you have a fallout with your father, how do you come back?
Like your real father?
Yeah.
No?
So here's another challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So my real father is late.
Oh, I see.
So there was
That's
already
why I see
so there was a father gap.
I see. The way she
There was
looked at me, I'm
any
like,
father gap physically.
yeah.
Not to not talk of the spiritual.
There was
Okay.
and you know what? The other thing I was wrestling with the first time I went to Logic was that fatherhood thing on Dr. Flourish.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
This is perfect.
there's something here.
Yeah.
But I was afraid of it and I was like, no. Because I know that if I let this man in, I'm going to want to know God. And I don't want that.
You don't.
And well, at the time, that was the wrestling. At the time, it was like I don't want to know I don't want to buy what you're selling. I don't care. I'm not interested. Keep it away from me. You know, but each time I went, and I made those videos, right? I like the second time I went, like for the Wednesday service, beating me down. Like the actual gospel was like, I had put up a brick wall. I know what walls were up. This message was trying to knock it down. I fought. Following Sunday, cried in church because the sermon was beating me down. I said, no, I'm not gonna. I said, no.
And then you just keep going on to you.
But I kept going. And each time, I would, and that's why I said my unbelief gets challenged every time I go there. Like this question you're asking me, that's what's being challenged. Why don't you want to believe? I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think that's.
Okay,
I think that's it.
I want to ask something now. It might not be spiritually related.
Mm-hmm.
What is that thing in your life that you so believe in that no matter what comes against you, you will still believe in it and not change? No matter what people say, no matter the dragging, what is that thing about you?
I like that. You know what? That I am always truthful about anything that I say. Even if you call me a lie, it doesn't matter because I know I have integrity. I'm honest. If I used to say I was so honest for my own good because you ask me, did you do this? Then I'll tell you the truth. Like, yes, I did it. I even apologize and say it was very silly. But it's that no matter what, that's why being called a liar affected me.
Now, do you not think that there's the way you can know God such that no matter what they throw at you, no matter the public dragging, you will not be shaken. You will still say, no, I believe in God. Just like the way I asked you that, is there something in your life where no matter what people say, no matter what me and Lexi will say or what social media will say, you will still believe that thing? Was it that you didn't get to that point with God for the thing that happened to affect your faith?
I believe that I had gotten to that point with God, but I think that because it wasn't just one thing, but a series of things that were happening one after the other.
Okay.
And then because there was like a lack of support spiritually, I couldn't keep it all together by myself. So it was less about did I not trust God or have faith, more about like I'm in survival mode. I need to survive. That was it. It's like I need to survive. I need to get through. This is a very difficult period. I need to get through it. I almost didn't. Like, let's keep it a buck. I almost didn't. That's how deep it was. You know, so now there's two questions I'm asking. Is it going to be let's give it one more shot? Or is it going to be, no matter what happens, I will trust God? I literally wrote that in my notes on Saturday. That is where I am now.
I think it should be the second one, though.
Agenda!
I'm just saying.
But it's a good thing that I'm asking these questions as opposed to what my language before was, which was, no, thank you. I don't want to submit to this God. I'm good. But now there is can I yield? Can I actually yield? And if I yield, what does it mean? Because then there's going to be a lot of questions.
So there's something I saw once. It was a video, actually. I don't know if you've seen this series, Chosen.
Yes, I have.
So I think it was Jesus speaking to one of the disciples, and he was like, even if I do not do what you want me to do right now, would you still believe? And the guy was quiet.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people see God from the point of where they can receive every time. So the moment they are no longer receiving, they feel like
there's no need.
Like nothing is happening here, right? So when I heard that question, I was like, okay, this actually makes a lot of sense. Like, am I believing because I feel like I'm believing because he's going to give me something, or I'm believing because I know what you did in the finished work, and this is where I want to be, no matter what.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think I'm just saying
that's what I have to deal with. That's the challenge I have to deal with now, which is whatever is returning, because something is returning, is new and is fresh, which means that I get a chance to ask myself if that belief, because there's hope. Faith is not back yet, but hope is back.
It's back.
So if faith if the new, whatever is new comes to you, which side are you going to fall on? Because if it's one more shot, that means that something could happen that could push me out again.
So it should be totally
It should not be one, but at least I'm saying that these are the two things
options
now. After my last wrestling on Saturday.
Well,
I know one thing about change is that you have to be ready and willing to change before change can actually come.
Yeah.
If you are not willing and ready, if you fight it, change cannot come. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, okay, for example, if someone that you don't know comes to do something to you, the way you will receive it will be different from someone that you know. Okay, let's say, maybe you have a friend, maybe your best friend now just comes and bangs your door and opens the door and just enters into your house. Because your best friend, you just relax and receive the person. But if it is somebody that you don't know, the way you will fight it will be different. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel that change is something that you have to be prepared for. The place your mind was from 2023 to 2026 it was like a rocky ground. Nothing could grow there.
Nothing.
Do you get?
Nothing.
But now you're just like, okay, let me put in small soil and the tree is seed, and seed is growing like, it mustn't grow yet.
I think that's the problem. She doesn't want the seed to grow.
No, that was what it was. I knew something was planted that first service, and I was like trying to.
So you're trying to, use your whole
dig it out. I was trying to dig it out. So I think that's why every time I was going, and it felt like it was going deeper, I was fighting. I was like, what's going on?
I think I see what's going on here. You're scared to be hurt again.
1000%. That's like anytime
you're scared to be hurt again.
Scared.
And it's a valid reason.
It's trauma.
It's trauma.
Because
isn't that what Piflo said? He said, is this your trauma speaking?
Yeah.
Because he can recognize that anybody that's afraid to trust or get close again is trauma.
You're like, I've seen this thing before. It's not happening again.
It just be like, people with
this thing.
Yeah, it's just like somebody that was in a bad relationship, and all of a sudden they will just say, all men are trash.
Yes,
all women are this.
Even if the genuine man or the genuine man comes, they just
be projecting her.
Don't do this, don't do that.
And that's a big problem, because even if a genuine person comes,
you miss out.
You start projecting your insecurities
on the new person
and your trauma on the new person. And you want that new person to be what you want him to be, not what the person is.
And with that, the relationship cannot work.
No, it can't.
It can't work.
It can't.
I think
it can't. No, it can't work. It's true.
Okay, good.
No, it cannot work. Okay. Right. But what I will say though is that this thing is so layered, because the fact that I wasn't judged, or I felt like I was not being, it was so confusing, because I was like, why am I not uncomfortable? Why am I not angry in this church? What's going on? And then seeing my friends as well made it even 10 times worse, because one of my friends, I remember he was looking at me and saying, you have to come back. I told him, he said, no, let the gospel do what the gospel does, come back. said, you have to come back. I'm not giving you lines. You know me very well. If I can be here, you can be here.
And another thing again too, right, in your process of coming back, you should not overly attach situation.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Where you're already looking for anything that seems like a red light. Like you are looking...
So I'm like...
You're looking at the green, like if it turns yellow, I don't move.
You know what? I
so
think
you don't put your mind in such.
I was there. I was like, let me figure out the red flags. What are the red flags so I can start putting my list together?
Because funny enough, if your mindset is still there, even if you come back to the church and something similar happens, you will move.
I will run. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I guess this is the beauty about this church is that there was a service, one of the services where Dr. Flourish just said it in passing. He said, the stuff you experience at the other churches won't happen here. So I'd made a video. I think he had watched it. So that's not going to happen here. But then he said, but we're not perfect. And I said, I'm not looking for perfection, actually, because I'm okay with just coming here. But it was important for him to tackle that because it was something...
At the back of your mind.
That was already in the back of my head, yes.
I like the fact that you just brought that up, right? I want to know why you now started your journey on talking about these kind of things on TikTok and on Instagram, right? So what prompted that move? And give us something that changed you forever. That you're like, okay, this is it.
This is it?
Yeah. This is it.
So the stuff I'm making on TikTok and Instagram, are you referring to the deconstruction videos?
Yes.
Yeah, what prompted me to do that? I think because I was already vocal about my faith when I was a Christian. Like, I used to, do Bible teachings. Yeah, when I used to, have those...
And you have a preaching voice. So.
Hallelujah! No. They used to call me Teacher K.
Come on, don't play.
By the time I'm done breaking out the Bible, you'd be like, is it the same?
Is it the same Bible?
They used to call me Prophetess, KK Fire, because whenever I would prophesy, I would just flow. And then because I also do public speaking and poetry, I'm very comfortable with a mic, So by the time you put that mic in me, I always say, don't put a mic in my hand. I will mess it up. So by the time I start prophesying, so it was a thing. It was a thing. But because I was vocal about it, I said, okay, I've lost this faith. I didn't mean to lose it. It wasn't something I planned. Let me take you guys through this process, these questions I'm asking. I'm reading the Bible more logically. I'm using my brain now. I'm not using faith. There's no faith. I'm just reading and I'm asking all these questions. So I just started with one video. And then, like I said, I think people just started to gravitate towards it.
Connect.
And then more people who were deconstructing, who were Nigerian as well, started to relate with the videos, And I was like, okay, let me build this. Let me actually start to focus on making deconstruction videos on TikTok. And that blew up. And, I was doing other kinds of videos, but that one was very personal to me. I didn't do a lot on Instagram, actually. Instagram was just like happenstance. When I started doing the spicy storytelling, then visited Logic, and I was like, you know what, let me just post this Logic review. I wasn't even thinking. I said, let me just post it. And then that just kind of
went crazy everywhere. It went crazy. I saw that video, I was like, okay.
It went, TikTok, I was like, more because they're used to that. But the responses were different. And I think it was kismet that I posted it on Instagram because a lot of Logic members reached out to me and said, just come back on Wednesdays, no pressure. But TikTok, they were scared. They were like, girl, we're about to lose you. Yes.
Queen Mother, are you going?
Of the construction.
They were like, no. They literally were like, don't go back here. Because they had never heard me talk about a church ever.
Yeah.
Except I was dragging my, like those people, they had never heard me say anything. It was an objectively good review. I didn't say anything negative about it. If I said something negative, they would have been like, oh yeah, that's fine. But I was like, no, this guy is good. I was like, this guy is good. So I did it because I wanted people to feel less alone. The intentions were never impure. It was never to, I got a lot of, she's seeking attention. No, I don't need to do, come on. Like, why would I willfully deconstruct a religion online for attention? That's a slippery slope.
Okay, so what comment have you seen that connected with you?
Now?
Just the process of deconstructing. Any comments that you've seen?
In the process, because I've now, I've basically put it on hold. I've suspended it.
Yeah.
But is it while I was in it actively?
Yes, while you were.
I think I got a lot of comments. Okay, I got similar comments about people feeling less alone now that they're hearing someone who looks like them and sounds like them taking apart their faith like this, right? Especially a lot of women could connect with it because Christian women and their relationship with religion is very complicated, especially Nigerian women, right? So I think for them, it was like we have a voice or somebody that can speak what's on our mind, that we can feel comfortable to say to our pastors, even to our partners or our friends, because your church friends are different from your other friends. Do you understand? So if you go to them and like, I have doubts, they'll be like, don't come near me with that. So they'll say, God is still on the throne. So for me, I'm like, no. I understand what you're dealing with because I'm going through it, right? But of course, when I made my last video, my last update was after that Wednesday service, that service.
Yeah.
I had to download.
Yeah.
That was the first one I'd ever done. I've listened to what Dr. Fleury said to me multiple times because he clocked me hard. I made a video. I said, I'm not deconstructing openly anymore. And I honestly, I lost followers. Like they were not happy with me. Yeah. They were not happy with me.
And the way you keep mentioning Dr. Fleury, it feels like he has really done things. Baba, don't go inside. Don't lose
control.
Without even intending to. He didn't stay surface. He went deep. Like he was like, I'm gonna go and hit this thing, this unbelief. Like he went inside. He went to the root cause of it without meaning to, because he wasn't preaching a specific word to me. He was just doing his thing like normal. But as he's speaking, I'm realizing things in my head. It was during a logic service that I realized that God was not the one at fault.
Of course.
That broke me because I was like, so who? So you mean
people?
So you mean I walked?
It was the man you invested with.
I was like, come on, what do you mean? And I asked, and I said it publicly. I said, if I had heard this sermon or if I'd been around people like this in 2023, I would not have lost my faith. Which means
had it been you had good friends,
yes,
it would not have gotten to that level.
Even my friend that I spent the time with in London, when I told her I was going back to church, she said, I would have told you in 2023 that God was not the issue. And that friend is not religious. She said, it's obvious that it was a people problem, but we couldn't focus on that because you were in a lot of pain.
Yeah, you were not really listening to anybody at that time.
There was no way to.
There was no interest.
There was no interest because I was like, I need to survive. I need to get back on my feet. But that means that if I was in the right environment, then I wouldn't have lost my faith. And that further messed me up because I'm like, so was this just things that happened and this was just a trauma response? Genuinely, it's like getting into a car accident. Something is going to happen to you. Even if you don't sustain any injuries, you will have memories of the crash, everything. So you are still responding to that trauma in a way. So I responded to mine by just pulling out completely.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. So what would you say the biggest problem of religious people? What do you think their biggest problem is?
You're not empathetic.
No, you said you guys.
Sorry, that's what I was saying. Not you guys.
You guys.
Not you guys, please.
Pastor Lexi.
Not you, please. But a lot of religious people are very unempathetic. Somebody will come into church limping, tired. Oh, please, just pray for me. And they just have God is in control. They have vain platitudes. They have Christianese. They don't. Sometimes it's like, I don't know why it's so hard for them to like just connect with the human being that is in front of you. When I was a minister, I never did vain platitudes. And maybe that's why it hurt for me a lot, because I would listen to people. I'm like, tell me, what's the history? They'll download their whole life. We'll be on a call for like an hour or two just for me to understand. So I'm not just saying, oh, this is what the Lord... No, I'm like, let me hear what's actually going on. And then I minister to them according to what they're telling me, right? And I encourage them. And people will be like, oh my God, Kay, my faith was restored. Thank you so much. So I'm like, I know the power of connecting with the person like a human being. You can still pray for them. You can still give them Bible verses, but don't overlook their humanity.
Yeah.
Don't just brush it aside and say, oh, God will bring you to the end of yourself. Hey, newsflash, I'm already there. I'm there. Hey, I'm already on the floor, bleeding out. You know, it's like the story of the Samaritan now, right? Mm-hmm. The Good Samaritan. And what was happening? Didn't religious people walk by the guy that was bleeding out?
Mm-hmm. True.
It was a foreigner and someone that shouldn't have even been relating with the person that it was so powerful that it had to be mentioned. This Good Samaritan did this thing.
You're preaching.
Hey, listen.
You're preaching, Kay.
I was about that line.
Keep going.
Don't waken it. Don't waken it. Okay, but why was that story there? Because it shows that, look, this will happen where people in your own community will walk away from you. They didn't want to touch him. Like, oh no, I have my priestly robes. I don't want to be stained. It took someone from outside to say, no, I have to take care of this person. So that means that, yes, a lot of believers will go outside of the church to find that support, and they'll be like, why do I need you guys anymore? Please, we have to be empathetic. So much is happening in the world. You can't get away with just, oh, it's God's will. Come on. You don't see that someone that is grieving.
Someone just lost a kid or his
God
mother.
had to call them. You don't say that. Yeah. You meet them at their humanity. When they are strong enough, that's when you start to bring that spiritual encouragement. But you don't say that to them because you know you would not want to hear as if it was you. So for me, I think that's it. That empathy gap, it's a real problem.
Do you think that's a pastor problem?
No, let's not.
Somebody must have.
No, but I think pastors should actually try to work on that, because church is usually perceived as a place where saints come together. Whereas church is where, those that are not perfect, those that are down, people that actually need, that family fortification, want to be in. They shouldn't be seen as a saint environment. So church should actually try to work. I don't know how they want to do it. They might have maybe an arm, or how would I put it? I'm looking for the word now. Sorry.
Not a department or
like a department that can actually meet people at their level.
Yes.
Get them to talk, relate with them. There's a way you can come to church now and say you are having a headache, and before they even allow you, before you even land and say you're having a headache, say don't worry, let the weak say I'm strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Let him first talk. People want to be listened to.
That's it.
You get this therapy thing they're talking about, this Christian part of it, where people can actually relate their mind and not get judged.
Yes,
do you get what I'm saying? Because there are some people that have left church because of this thing. Yes. I remember when I was in university, where you go to tell a pastor about your story. And
easy to
preach.
Yeah.
I think plug it in. I think all of us.
Yeah, we want. Yes,
you are in church and you just be like, "Nah, me that they talk about so." Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what we're talking about.
You cannot receive my story, and try to solve my problem for me unless I'm hearing it in service.
Yes.
How do you want me to feel? And a lot of things that pastors need to take notes of in church that is really making people to leave church. And it's not really actually fair. People pastors should actually work on this. Really.
Their culture is because it's like a top-down effect. How the leadership at the top handles things like this, it actually flows down. So that's where they have to do that culture training. And you're right, there needs to be like an emotional counseling department.
Yes, that's the word.
Because they're Christian counselors now. They go to school for it now, for psychology. They get their certifications. Yeah. So you guys should serve the church. Even if you say, oh, me, I can do 30 minutes. 30 minutes is a lot. Just a 3-minute conversation with Dr. Flores. 3 days later,
Christianity is if you get stained outside, the next place you should think of is running back to church.
Literally.
Church must not hear this.
Yeah, exactly. No. You should feel
how did I get pregnant? God, church must not hear. Whereas it is church that you should go, but my life is ruined. What should I do?
What should I do?
And you should get answers.
I like that, because there's one quote I made one time. It was like, when a Christian says, oh, I messed up, religion will tell you, you messed up. God is angry with you. God is going to punish you. But in the real sense, it's supposed to say, oh, I messed up. I need to go meet my dad.
Yeah.
That's how I should be.
And apologize, and Baba help me. I'm not perfect.
Boy, help me. Yeah.
No, that's how we should be.
Yeah.
So,
it's been an amazing conversation. I think I should just take a drink now, digest everything.
Yeah, I like the fact that I like how you transitioned from 2023 to 2026. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for you, and it's amazing to see how you've grown, because I can honestly say you've grown. I watch your videos, to be honest. I check your videos. And I showed him, I even showed him, I was like, this has to be our next guest.
When Lexi sent me your page, I'm like, I'm on Lexi, we can't handle
it. This has to be our next guest,
Be too much for us.
You're always saying it how it is.
I have to. It's my training. I mean, I'm a journalist by training. I studied English and creative writing. I do poetry. So it's always been in me to just speak generally what people can't. I have no issues with taboo topics. I can get real. And I think that was very effective when I was in minister, because I would deal with the root cause. I wouldn't just deal with the surface level, right?
And funny enough, there's something that I want to say about her. Because I know she's going back to ministry. That's number one. Hold on.
Uninvolved.
Now, if you look at her journey, right? She has she had, faith in God, and she was a minister and whatever. And something happened. She went, down the valley to see what is happening there. Now coming back up, she has a perfect roadmap of someone that people in this kind of condition can relate to, because she has seen the top. Yeah. She has gone to the valley to see the bottom. She has everything to tell you.
Yes.
So please take note of this. You are going back into ministry.
I can see pastors
I'll be a man of God.
Come on. Say it, sir.
I was in the cave of Adullam.
Hey.
So
no water, no food.
Yeah. So you've seen both words, and I think you're in a better position.
I believe that.
Explain and teach people.
Just like the story of Joseph. Joseph was, enjoying. Joseph was enjoying in his father's house, and got sold by his brothers. Yes. He went to the.
He went to the palace.
He went to prison.
Then
so
the palace.
So it was more just like the
prison.
2023, 2026 was your prison.
Yes,
when you come back to the palace, you start.
Who are you?
Your brothers will come from afar.
What do you want, bro?
That's one of the fear. I'm like,
you have a complete story. So in fact, it's more like we might just feel something happened and you derailed 2023 to 2026, it might be a perfect plan.
Yeah.
You never can tell. That God wants you to go into these dark places and see what is there. Yeah. So that when you come back, you have a lot to say.
Yes. And to add to that, I heard something that somebody said, God doesn't give you what you cannot handle. God doesn't give you what you cannot handle. So for that thing to happen to you or anybody is happening to at
you might be aware.
This soldier can handle this thing. It might be crazy right now.
Oh, crazy.
But you can handle it and it's going to come out crazy. That's why Job had the craziest test.
That was crazy.
If God had not wanted to go through what she went through, God would have probably put a friend that would bring her back. But God wanted her to. So you might not necessarily need to, have those, your friend in your black book. They just came to play their role.
Yeah.
Do you get? So don't beef anybody.
Come on.
Who are you? They came to play their role.
You're what am I in the studio with today? My God.
I'm serious. Because you might want to have them in your black book for life, and I can't relate to this. But they just played their script. They were actors in the story God is
You're right. So they came to play their script. No, you're right. You're right. These are part of the things I wrestled with on Saturday. Remember I told you, I said a lot, like I don't even know. It feels like it's happening very quickly, but I think it's the right time for these things to be happening, right? That was part of what I had to deal with. That anger that
I can feel the spirit in his teeth.
I said, girl, this is releasing, but no. Everything is stable. Let me just say it now. Everything is the roller coaster is gone. Everything just feels stable.
So we're just gonna give you like 20, 30 seconds to, say your truth, say where you are now, and to people that honestly, because you have a lot of following, you have a lot of people that listen to you and want to hear what you have to say. So just tell them what's going on now, and just let them know.
The first thing I'll say is that it's okay for you to change your mind. Okay, I feel like sometimes when we make hard statements, we feel bad when things change, and it feels like we have to walk back on it. I actually don't think you have to walk back on it. I think you can say, I believe this. I no longer believe this. This is what I believe now. It's part of just being a human being, right? Second thing I'm going to say is that I'm really grateful for, I have to say this about Logic. I'm super grateful for Logic. Super grateful for the people, because they have played a big role in me feeling hopeful again. And when you're feeling hope, you are in an optimistic state of mind. That is a beautiful sign for anyone who has survived domestic violence or any kind of abusive situation, because it means that you are hopeful about your future and you're no longer living in the past of what happened to you, So for anyone, I think I would say this, who is healing from trauma or they're facing it and it feels too difficult, please look at me and know that it is possible. Because what I went through, guys, it was hell. But if I can sit here and I'm still smiling like this.
Yeah, having a conversation.
Just please know, okay? And faith is actually important. Okay. I will say it here. All faith is important. So whatever faith you hold on to it, please. It's important.
Whatever you believe in, you hold on to. Pick, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think it has been an amazing conversation so far. And I think this episode is going to help a lot of people, because I love how we started the episode, what we talked about, and the way it ended. Yeah. It's a complete message. Yeah. And I think wherever you are, if you have any issue with church hurt, I'm so very confident that you're going to get healed. And please try to connect with her because henceforth she's going to be releasing some content. She's going to be releasing some content that
my
will
Instagram
hit
followers
your
will be
spirit.
upset. They'll be like, no.
Just follow Lady K. What? I don't know. We'll project her Instagram.
Okay, yeah, no, don't worry. We'll
just follow
give
her.
everything.
She's going to be releasing some
should I say
prophetic
it?
things that you will need in your life.
No, my TikTok is Lady K TV. So that's LADYKAY TV. And my Instagram is OK Lady K. OKAY LADYKAY.
So I'm going to also wrap up by saying it's been an amazing time in the studio today, to be honest.
Yeah.
I learned some things, because I always like to see from another person's perspective, like what must have happened? Like, why did you, is this really enough to lose your faith? Because I was really like, okay, tell me the thing that happened. Let me go there. But listening to you and I'm like, oh, okay, now I get what you're saying and I get what get where you're coming from. So over religious people, please, you need to relax.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to say that the popularity of a lie doesn't make it the truth. You guys should not take me there. Don't take me there.
Say it again. That was
The popularity of a lie
doesn't make it the truth, right? So because you've been used to something for a long time doesn't necessarily mean that's the truth. Come to the light. Come to the truth, all right? My name is Leximani, Mr. Peak, Lady K. Until next time.
signing out.
Bye-bye.